morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you all for spending your precious time on the 3 days weekend. So, the other day I was out for shopping and I was in a grocery store and I saw a child being scolded by her mother. And the child was apparently trying to say something to her mother. But her mother just kept on saying, "No, you have to listen to me. You have to listen to me." And I'm sure that you have seen something similar, but so when I was watching that moment, I kind of thought how hard it will be for the child to actually listen to her mother at such a time, and how even harder it will be for the mother to listen to her child. And I think this is true for us all. And in our denomination, Shin Buddhism, listening is one of the most important, actually it's a practice to listen, try to listen. And unfortunately, some say that Shin Buddhism is easy to practice because it's just required to sit and listen. While other denominations stress on physical practice, physical training. But in fact, I think listening is one of the most difficult things to do. So there are 4 ways to listen. The first is called kiki nagasu. This is in Japanese, kiki nagasu. And it means the kind of listening where what you hear goes from one ear, but immediately it goes out from the other ear. And unfortunately, this is very common. And actually, this is, so there's no real listening in this type of listening, kiki nagasu. And the second is a kind of listening called kiki oboeru, which means that when you listen hard in order to remember the exact words that someone says to you so that you can use them for yourself later. And this is called parroting. So it is a way of accumulating just for your knowledge without understanding what it really means. So this is the kiki oboeru. And the third is kiki wakeru. So this is when you are listening properly, but you only listen to what is convenient for you and separate what is inconvenient. And actually this is kind of a dangerous way to listen because it can isolate you from those who are trying to listen. And the fourth, and the last, is kiki hiraku, and which means to open your mind and listen. So this is to listen to the words of others as if they were your own. And it requires that you cross over to their side and open your mind to their thoughts. So this is the kiki hiraku. And this is actually the hardest of all the kinds of listening to do. But it is the truest, to open your minds and listen. And it is what Shin Buddhism means for you to do when it says that you should listen, to open your minds and listen. And of course, the other two patterns of listening are more common. And this is due to our kind of our pride and our prejudice and inflexibility. And to listen truly, we must kind of practice, just open your mind and listen. But before we can do that, we must first learn that there are these 4 forms of listening. And I think that there's a big difference between knowing that there are 4 kinds of listening and not knowing. So one of the important functions of Shin Buddhism is to make us aware of such things. So we must listen openly instead of listening conveniently, listening for your knowledge, or hearing and not listening. So hearing is just hearing the sound, but listening, open your heart in listening, is you bring the sound inside yourself, but try to understand what it truly means. So we may all have different ways of, accepting the Dharma, accepting the teaching, different perspectives. But what is important is that listening openly is the ideal way to approach it. So it is easy to say that we have to open our mind, but it's really hard to actually open your mind. But so that we must always have this idea that there's 4 kinds of listening we unconsciously do in our everyday lives. That when we practice actually to truly listen, we have to know that we tend to listen conveniently, listening for your knowledge, and just hearing things. So, listening. Please remember these 4 kinds of listening style. Thank you. So please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo